Now we are going to create our agenda in NexusMeet. So I'm going to click on agenda and it's going to ask me, do you want to use the self-guided participant wizard or the traditional agenda? I'm going to choose self-guided and click continue. When you choose the self-guided, it's going to ask you, do you want to add an agenda item? Which I do. So I'm going to click right here and add an agenda item. And then I'm going to pick the time. So I know that my session starts at noon. So I'm going to say I'm going to start at 12 o'clock p.m. And the first activity I want to do is I want to do a breathing exercise. And so that's what I'm going to call my activity, breathing exercise. And I'm going to click on next step. How long do I want this activity to be? I want it to be 3 minutes. And so I'm going to click next step. Please paste your facilitator notes. So what notes do I have for myself? And so I might say I want to explain activity and just tell them to follow. These facilitator notes will only be able to be viewed by the facilitators. So if you're logged in as the facilitator, you'll see that section and your participants will not see that section, but it'll be right there on your screen to help you through. So you can put as many notes as you want right here and then click next step. So now it says participants instructions for the agenda item breathing exercise. And so this is really fun. You can put as many instructions as you want, and then these will be available for the participant. So my first instruction that I'm going to add is I'm going to say that I want to choose a web app link. And that's what we inserted earlier. And so when I do that and I click on my down arrow, everything that I inserted there will be available. And so I can choose breathing exercise and click on save. Now, I do want to let you know if you get here and you realize that you forgot to add your link that you need, you can, at this point, click on Session Links and Web Apps, go ahead and add whatever it is that you need to add. So I could add a new link here. I'm not going to, so I'm going to click X and say, yes, I want to get rid of that. And then go back to my agenda, and then it would be available for me to select. So if for any reason you forgot, you can do it from right here, or you can do it in advance. And so I can just continue to add instructions. So I want them to do that. And then maybe my second instruction is just going to be an instruction, and I'm going to say review the agenda. And that's what I want to do during this first activity. And so I'll click on save. And so these are the 2 steps that I had. If I want to go back and add steps later, I can. But for right now, I'm happy with these 2 steps. So I'm going to click finish. And so that's going to be my first agenda item. And then I'm going to add my next agenda item. And so I said that that one was going to be 3 minutes. So at 12:04, I would have my next agenda item. And my next agenda item might be to review Stellar. Oh, maybe I'm going to review reinvention, right? And why I'm using it. And I just am randomly capitalizing things there. And so you can click on next step. And so let's say I'm going to take 5 minutes to do this. And actually I'm going to say 7, just so I'll be at 12:10 then. It'll be easier. The next step, again, my facilitator notes. So I can say tell journey, explain CRO, certification, whatever I want here for my notes. I'm going to click on next step, and then I'm going to add my instructions. So my instruction here might just be adding instructions just to ask for input on, so they're going to see this. So I don't want to ask them for input. I just want, my instruction is going to be journey's story. And I could say full screen video to let them know I want them to put their video on full screen. And then I can click save. That's the only instruction I have, so I can finish. And then I'm going to go ahead at 12:10. So I'm continuing to add here on my agenda. And at 12:10, I'm going to say, okay, now I want to show the Stellar model. And so my next step is going to be, for this, I want 5 minutes, and I'm going to review Stellar with questions. And then in my next step, I'm going to say, okay, let me add some instruction here. I want them to insert this document link, and I want to look at the CRO handbook for Stellar, and I want to click on save. And so I would, and then I'll click finish. I would just keep doing this for all of my different steps. And I could go back at any time and I could edit. So let's say I want to edit here and I want to add a step. So that's going to be my activity. My duration would be the same. I could edit that. I could add to my facilitator notes here. And then if I wanted to add more instructions, I could do it. I can move the instructions up or down so that they'll work and click on finish. So I can start this agenda and just keep adding to it, but that's how it will work in my wizard. And so when I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and click on this agenda here. And so when I click on the agenda, you can see the whole agenda and be able to go through and edit it. This will be the information on at the top, and then this is going to be what you see: your time, your activity, your facilitator instructions, and the participants instructions. And so it's a really great way to start storing your stuff for your workshop, continue to add to it, continue to add your session documents, and really just build everything right here so that when you're in your session, you have everything that you need.